Don't you just love when you go in a store and they're like running a sale? Or if you go in a store and you find some really good stuff on clearance that like maybe you didn't really need, but it was on clearance and you still liked it, and because of it being on clearance, how much it was, you were like, yeah, I need to buy this, even though I don't really need it. Well, that's what I did last night. Hey guys, what's up? What's happening? You got the King of Games 98 here, and well, just as I said in my opening, that's exactly what I did last night. So last night, me and my dad went to one of the Walmarts by our house. Yes, you heard me right. I said one of the Walmarts by my house. That is because there's about 2 or 3 Walmarts by my house, okay? The closest one is the one we usually go to the most, but then occasionally there's one a little bit farther that we'll go to just because the store is laid out differently, and occasionally we've noticed that they carry different stuff that the other one doesn't. So yeah. So last night, me and my dad went to the one Walmart by my house that is a little bit farther away. And he had a couple of specific things he needed to get in mind, and I went with him just for the hell of it because I wanted to look around. And lo and behold, I found a couple of really cool things that I didn't really need, but because all 3 of the items happened to be on clearance, and for how much they were, I couldn't say no, dudes. I couldn't pass these up. Just because the prices they were at on clearance, oh my God, I could not pass them up. So without further ado, this is going to be a new pickups video for me. And it kind of feels weird saying this, but this is going to be my Walmart clearance pickups video. Yeah. So that's a thing. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to... so first off, I only got 3 things. And those are the 3 things in the bag. I'm going to pull out each one that I got in the order that I found them. And yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about them. So, the first thing that I found and ended up buying was another mini arcade cabinet. What? Oh yeah, that's right. It's a Bad Dudes freaking mini arcade cabinet. Yeah. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I just, I noticed that my phone tripod was kind of at a weird angle, so I thought it would be at a weird angle recording this and you guys viewing this, so I just completely adjusted it and moved it down to the lowest level that it sits, and now I can see it's totally more level with my phone and that, and the other 2 things will be fine. Yeah. I picked up another My Arcade brand micro player retro arcade. Yeah, but this time it's freaking Bad Dudes. What you gonna do there, brother? When Hulkamania comes running wild on you. Yeah, it's not wrestling, but you know, you guys still get that. Yeah. So I was in the electronics video game section checking out the video games. Of course. Nothing really good caught my eye, and or, you know, wasn't anything on sale or, you know, marked down. And then I was in the aisle where they had all of these My Arcade micro player retro arcades. Try saying that 10 times fast. And like, it was crazy, guys, because this was the only one. Okay, so first off, this was the only one in the clearance section, and this was the last one left. So I got really freaking super duper lucky that this was still there and I had the chance to buy it, and I'm so freaking happy. So yeah, it was weird, guys. In the aisle where this was, they still had, like 4 or 5 different ones of these, but it was different games, of course. Sitting on the shelves right next to where this was in the clearance aisle, well, in the clearance section, and they were all still priced at original retail price, $24.95. And then I see this one lonesome one sitting there in like the little clearance section. It was just a whole little section of just clearance stuff, and this was sitting there, and I was like, oh, is this on clearance too? So of course, in typical Walmart fashion, there was no price tag on it or near it anywhere. So I found a price scanner, scanned it, and it rang up $5 on clearance. So I was like, yeah, I need this in my life. And the funny thing, guys, is, believe it or not, I don't think I'm going to open this My Arcade Micro Player Retro Arcade because I already have the Galaxian one, so I pretty much know exactly how it is, even though that's Galaxian and this is obviously Bad Dudes. But more importantly, this is why I'm not going to open this Bad Dudes mini arcade cabinet, which is because I own an original cartridge copy of the game Bad Dudes on NES. So yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys see where I'm going with this. I don't really see the point of opening this to play this when this and that is the same game. Well, it's basically the same game. This version of Bad Dudes is probably the arcade version, and this is the NES home console version. But you know what? It's the same freaking game. So, either way, I don't think I'm going to open this, and I think I'm going to leave it sealed like that. I mean, it still looks cool nonetheless, but I'm just not going to play it, obviously. Okay, so that is the first thing I picked up from Walmart. Oh, wait, did I mention? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I mentioned how much this was. Yeah, this guy was on clearance for $5. Yes, $5. And the original retail price was $24.95. Again, just got to mention that. Like, I'm sorry, that still is blowing my freaking mind right now. Okay, so next thing I found and bought is a Transformer. What? Transformers, more than meets the eye. Yeah, I not too long ago found out that Hasbro did this like Transformers G1 vintage reissue, and like including this one, I think this is like the third one I bought so far. But it's like they're really cool, and like I looked some of these up on eBay, and like they're already starting to become harder and harder to find, and collectors are starting to seem like they're kind of going, a little nuts over them. So, when I was in the one toy aisle where they have the Transformers, and then at the end of that aisle was the whole toy clearance aisle, and I saw they had 5 G1 Transformers reissue toys, but unfortunately all 5 of them were the same thing, Autobot Swerve. So I compared all 5 of them and tried to pick out the nicest one of the 5. Unfortunately, all of the freaking cardboard backings on the packaging were all bent to hell, but I still bought one, and as you can see, this is still kind of bent, but you know what? I kind of started to unbend it. Whatever. So yeah, this is really cool. And This little guy, I believe, was originally the retail price was like $7, $8. Yeah, it was like either $7 or $8. This little guy was on clearance for $5 as well. And so when I found that out, I was like, I am absolutely buying myself at least one of these. What sucks is they didn't have any more of the G1 Transformers reissue toys, because if they did, I would have bought, more. Definitely would have bought more. But God, this is just so cool. Look at the freaking vintage Transformers G1 80s era freaking artwork. It's freaking beautiful, man. Like this is just so cool. I love collecting freaking stuff like this. So yeah, this was the second thing I grabbed from Walmart. And last but not least, we come to the third thing that I found and bought from Walmart last night. And that is done. A cool, highly detailed, retro style packaging Star Wars action figure from the Han Solo movie. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I freaking grew up with Star Wars. I've been a fan of Star Wars since I was a kid. So that's never going to change. And it's funny because I usually, at least when it comes with Star Wars toys, I usually don't. Whenever I go in stores, I usually don't buy new Star Wars toys because I'm kind of like, who cares? But when I saw this guy, and this was the last one of this Range Trooper action figure. When I saw this guy was in the clearance section of the one toy aisle, I was like, holy crap, that's cool. And yeah, I was actually really surprised and blown away. I did not know that Hasbro had brought back the Star Wars Vintage Collection. I already own two different Star Wars action figures from the Vintage Collection, off the top of my head from what I can remember. The one is IG-88, the Robot Bounty Hunter, and the other one is Boba Fett. And so, I couldn't believe that Hasbro had brought, the Star Wars Vintage Collection back. I didn't know that. So when I saw that, and when I saw that it was this really cool looking Range Trooper from the Han Solo Star Wars movie, I was like, that's really cool. Now, I know the Han Solo movie isn't the best Star Wars movie. Well, hell, who am I kidding? The movie flopped, okay? It flopped so hard that it made Rogue One look good. Okay? That being said, I do still own a copy of the movie on Blu-ray DVD combo pack, but that's just to have in my Star Wars collection. And again, I'm not really a huge fan of the Han Solo Star Wars movie, but you know what? This Range Trooper, Stormtrooper from the movie in this Vintage Collection retro style packaging, I loved it. I loved it so much. I freaking love that Hasbro put the original Kenner logo on the packaging. I love it so much, guys. It's just so awesome. So this guy, this action figure original retail price, I want to say was like $14 or $15. And this guy was on clearance for $7. So I was like, wow, for $2 more than the Transformer and the mini arcade cabinet, yeah, I'm going to grab this. Okay, guys, so without further ado, these are my three Walmart clearance item pickups from last night that I bought. So I'll just reiterate real quick. The Bad Dudes Mini Arcade Cabinet was on clearance for $5. The G1 Transformers reissue Autobot Swerve toy was on clearance for $5. And the Star Wars Solo Range Trooper Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure was on clearance for $7. So essentially, these three items total came out to $17, and then, whatever with tax. So really, I didn't think that was bad at all, and that's why I had no problem spending that. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I also wanted to make it known that, you could definitely find cool retro, collector's items, whether it be, that mini arcade cabinet or actual toys, even at a place like Walmart. You just kind of have to look hard enough, and also you kind of have to check in there regularly. So good luck, happy hunting, and thanks for watching, guys.